I'm making a video here on talent trees, on speccing your brand new character. All right, I'm using a frost guard right now. I'm not going to make this a how to spec your frost guard build. I'm just going to show people the way that you should build your talents, or the way you should go about your talents. If you were a new player that has never seen the game before, I'm going to give you just a strategy, right, for placing your points within the talent tree so that you cannot fuck it up. I don't know if that's going to be the title of the video. Maybe that'll be the title of the video. I already set some of my talents here because I had to level up this character. The test isn't open, so I had to set some of these talents just so that I can actually use my abilities. When you get into your talent tree, okay, you're going to see there's going to be a couple forks. It forks after your first talent is spent. It then forks again after you go for your, this is going to be a core ability here. These on the bottom for this class, you don't see these in every class. These are just explanations for all the different abilities. It's kind of nice to have for this class because this class is pretty complicated. Again, not doing a Frostweaver specific video. Basically, every talent tree splits off at the beginning to give you either like a defensive bonus or an offensive bonus or healing bonus type thing. Now, you're almost always going to go for the attack power originally. You're almost always going to hit up your attack power if you're a DPS. If this is the healing option, you're almost always going to hit up the healing option. Unless there's like, let's say for this class, if I'm going Ice Caller, I probably don't want the attack power. Ice Caller's the healing spec. I probably don't want the attack power. So if I was on the healing spec, I would want to go the maximum health. But I'm not going the healing spec for this guy. So you got to grab this, obviously, whatever this is going to be for your class. For me, this is a very complicated ability that I'm not going to go into explaining right now because Frostweaver is a brain aneurysm of a tooltip for some of these, but that's beyond the point. After your second fork, you're going to be forced to take an exploration discipline in order to move on with your tree. The exploration disciplines are not all that important for combat characters, but they are useful for harvesters. Above the exploration discipline is your first minor discipline that you can get in your talent trees. As a blanket statement, as just an all-around statement for building a vessel with your talents here, I suggest you get all three of your minor disciplines. So this is what you're going to base building your talent tree off of, is that you're at the minimum, you want to get minor disciplines. I'm going to show you how to do this as if I had no idea what was going on in this class, okay? So you go back through, okay, there's another thing you're forced to take. This is usually a major ability to your class. For me, it's free weaving, another brain aneurysm of a goddamn tooltip. It's not as complicated as it looks, I swear, for this class, but I'm not going to go into that here. I'll do another video on that maybe. There is videos. I have a video of that somewhere, but it's like a meme video, and it's not really, it was never meant to be a how-to. We move on from here. Your top and bottom ones, it looks the same for every class in this general layout where the minor disciplines are, where the major disciplines are. So as just a basic, here's what you're going to do. 1, 2, 3. Unlock that minor discipline. 1, 2, 3. Unlock that other minor discipline. There you go. So right now, you have not wasted any points. You could not have fucked up yet. Is essentially what I'm saying. You could take those last 2 hours you spent, leveling up this character. You haven't thrown it in the trash yet. You haven't thrown it in the trash. Stay with me here. So now that you have your 3 minor disciplines in your talent trees, right? Your next place you want to get to is these major disciplines. So you need to get to whatever this ability is here for your class. For me, it's Resurrection. In order to do that, I need to spend 24 points. And I need to get to this before it. So I need to spend 2 points at the very least to get to this, 24 points to get to this. I'm not going to get critical healing amount because I'm going to be a Frost Guard. So I'm not going to get basic attack damage or mana regen in combat because I just don't think that it's worth it for me. That's not what I want to do. So what I'm going to do is I need Shatterstorm. I'm going to spend the 2 points, grab it to here. I already have 2 points spent in here. Going to go for the third. From there, after I do that, I'm going to go into Solidify because it gives me armor and personal damage modifier by 1%. I'm a tank. That's my role. The armor's great. And the 1%, even better on top of it. But I'm only going to go for 3 in it because that's all I need to do, because the next thing I want to do is Slush Fund. So I got my Slush Fund. Slush Fund gives me, just to tell you just what I put the points into, I know I'm not doing that, but recovers 35 stamina for over 7 seconds after you use your Retaliate power. Retaliate is something that I feel like I should make another video on it. Maybe it should have been in the PvP basics. But anyway, I have 24 points spent. I can now get my next major thing. Boom. And from there, I can spend 5 points each on both of my major disciplines, unlocking all that I need in my discipline slots. After you get all that shit done, sorry for the language, no I'm not, rank up, I'm going for my sub spec. This is going to be your promotion spec of your class. There are 3 promotion specs for each specific class in the game. They all do their own thing. So I'm going Frost Guard. It's the range defense class, for the Frost Weaver. So that's what I'm doing. You don't need to spend a point to get your actual specialization. So if you like level up to here, you get these, and then you want to get your Frost Guard thing, which you don't have any points, it doesn't require a point to get your specialization, just to let you know. So after I set my point into Frost Guard, I'm going to hit 1, 2, right? Buckle my shoe, because from right there, I want to get Frost Armory. I want to get this ability. I put 2 into it. I want to get that ability. So now that I got that ability, I want this ability too. Frozen Solid enhances Frost Armor. It's a Frost Guard ability. I want it. Usually your ability in here is pretty vital. I obviously want this one for my class. Then after you get this point spent, you only need 2 points to get to your Capstone ability. Now, your Capstone ability is going to be the thing that shows you what your class is all about. Improves Frost Armor, so Frost Armor cracks are repaired, and Frost Armor fully refreshes when the timer expires instead of it being removed. I use Frost Armor. I like Frost Armor. That's my thing. I do it up. I get my Capstone ability, and we're good. We're moving and grooving. Now, after you set your Capstone ability, you get your basic points that you want to spend. That's when you need to go back through and really take a look and say, where do I want to spend the rest of my points, okay? So once you get to here, you're going to have some points left over. I have 12 points left over. That's probably going to be the minimum points you have, or the minimum points you have left over. So once you go through, you got to try to figure out where do you want to fit in those points, right? Most people are going to go for all the things in this tree. It depends on what you're building. I might want to get some maximum health. I don't know where I'm really going to go with this spec, but I'm going to finish it up right now just to do it for the video. I'm going to get Solidify because it gives me the armor, it gives me the personal damage modifier. So I'm going to finish out Solidify. That's just how I feel, what I want to do. In this current iteration of the game, I'm not going to get armor penetration because it's not currently a functioning thing. So in the next patch, it's going to come back to bite me when they fix it. But for right now, I don't want it. Going to finish out my personal damage modifier. I'm also going to finish out my critical damage. That leaves me with 7 points left to spend. I'm also going to finish out Cool Headed because it gives me more maximum mana. I don't really need the support power, but the maximum mana seems useful to me. And then I'm going to get this basic attack damage by 2%, mana regen in combat by 3. I'm going to fill that out, leaving me with 2 points, which I believe will give me 1 and 1, grabbing me the volatile ice thing in the end and caving in and going against what I originally thought when I started the build because it just fit in with my points. I haven't tried this build for talents on a Frost Guard right now, but I don't know. It seems pretty good to me, So also not endorsing it, haven't tested it. Seems pretty good though, based on playing Frost Guard in other areas. Maybe it's not tanky enough. I don't know what people are doing right now with the Frost Guard for the most part. I can make another video on that. So now that we did the talents, one of the things you need to also know about, maybe this should have been at the beginning of the video, I'm not sure, is your attributes. You're going to accumulate those as you gain levels. As a basic vessel, I am going to recommend across the board that you stack all of your points into one of these stats. Usually the one that's going to be at the top of the list. Unless you're a healer, most of the time you're going to stack it into spirit. I think paladins do something else, but for me as a Frost Guard, int is my top ability. I get 1 attack power. The other things that moved, you saw that. It does a lot of other things in your details. You need to look at those as you set them. But as you can see, it changes. Your main things that it's going to change are going to be here, but there are some things that these don't tell you, like con gives you barrier bonus, and there's some other things you're going to need to look into. There's more stuff than I'm going to put in this video. This is just the basics of how to do it. As a Frost Guard, I'm going to stack everything into intelligence because that's just going to give me the most bang for my buck. When I move up in vessel quality and I get a green vessel or a blue vessel or a purple vessel, whatever, I will have higher values for this and I'll need to spread them out more. But as a basic vessel, I just want to beef up my int. There's not much else I can really do in other areas. And I mean, you could try it out. You can experiment with it, but most people are going to tell you to just stack it into one thing as basic vessel. We got attributes out of the way. Sorry, I can't talk today. I don't know what, whatever. So now we need to talk about disciplines, things that we got in our talent trees before the minors and the majors, all that stuff. So here we go. Your major disciplines, right? I'm just going to give you a basics on how to look at these. These are important. They give you abilities, they give you passive bonuses. So I'm just going to mouse over one of them and we're going to show you the basics. So this one is Pixie. So let's say I wanted to be a healer. The first thing you want to look at is at the top, it says statistics. Those are just flat statistics that it adds to your character. Pixie adds a flat 3% healing chance, or critical healing chance, and 3% healing bonus. That's just like, you just get that off Pixie. These are things you need to look at before you even look at the powers that it grants below it. So for me as a Frost Guard, I don't want Pixie, but as a healer, Pixies are really good. Pixie's really good. Pixie Dust is great. We1 is boss, It's just the Soothing Winds is another targetable cast heal. This is a boss major discipline for a healer, but not for me. I'm a tank. I want something a little different. I want something like a Force Mage. Let's say I want to do a Force Mage because I need to be a tank. Okay? Force Mage grants barrier bonus plus 100, anti-critical strike 3%. So that's really good for me. It makes it so that I'm there's 3% less of a chance for them to critical strike me based on whatever kind of debuffs they're giving me, or there's a lot of other things that come into it, but that adds it to my statistics. I get a 100% barrier bonus. Nice. Barrier bonus is nice because this also gives me a reactive barrier. Attacks randomly add barrier and attack power. So I get a barrier for attacks, any attacks, and I get the extra barrier bonus for the Force Mage. I get the anti-critical strike. I also get kinetic boost, which is a damage bonus. It lasts a long time. Kinetic boost is huge, and Force Wave, which is nice now in certain situations. Force Mage could be a good one, so I'm just gonna go with it. All right, just gonna go with it. I'm not gonna slot it yet. Just gonna leave it in there. So Force Mage is my one. So I've looked around at these other ones. I don't really know what else I want to do right now. The last patch around, I ran Force Mage, Runecaster, and I really liked it. I don't know if it's still going to work in this meta, but I'm going to try it again. Runecaster gives me health plus 500, physical resistance plus 300. Those are huge things for this right now. And then my powers it grants me, I want all of those. They make me more of a tank. My sanctuary can help my allies. My fortification, same thing, can help my allies. I'm going to go with it. So basically, I'm just trying to tell you to look at the statistics, look at what these things do for you. A lot of times it's hard to get a total idea of what these things do to you until you slot them into your character. And then you can go scroll over them and get a real idea of what they do. Because here it'll say that reduces damage and reflects damage taken. But here it'll say absorbs 10% of damage taken for 15 seconds and then explodes to inflict 35% of total damage taken. Anyway, moving on to the minor disciplines. So, minor disciplines, for the most part, if you are a DPS character, you are going to want to go for a uniform minor, okay? So, for me, I use plate. Uniform plate is what I'm going to grab because what happens is I'm going to be wearing a full set of plate no matter what. And what uniform plate does for me, it increases my attack power by 100 when wearing a full set of non-basic plate armor. Attack power by 100 is a lot. So wearing a full set of plate and getting that extra 100 is very nice. It's very nice. It's kind of something it's hard to pass up, you know? I am going to go with weapon finesse because weapon finesse, I'll tell you in a second. I'm going to go for overwhelming odds, and I'll tell you why I went for these two in a second. Overwhelming odds increases my resist all stat by 7% when 3 or more enemies are within 10 meters. Really great for a tank. Weapon finesse increases your power efficiency statistic by 20%, which reduces the resource cost of using powers, does not stack with mental fortitude. So that's really good. It's going to save me mana. Your max resource cost reduction is 25%. So with weapon finesse getting you to 20%, you can potentially get a weapon that gives you 5%. I've gotten one that gives me 10%. I don't know if there's a 5%. I'm sure there is, but you know, that I feel like is if you just listen to what I said there, right? Just go for your minors, try to make the best decision you can on this fork. Go for your minors, you know, spend the most basic amount of points you can. I knew I needed Shatterstorm. If I'm a knight, I know I need pull. There's all different, every class has something that you're going to see it and you're going to go, I know I need that. I'm going to grab it. So try to get yourself to 24 points and get yourself to this ability and then grab your 2 majors, right? And then from here on out, it's usually pretty easy. You know, usually for a lot of classes, you want pretty much all of this. And even if you don't want all of it, you still wind up using it because it's beneficial to you. It's highly beneficial to you. So, and then once you finish all of that, you just need to go back and distribute points wherever you may think they fit best for you. And that's how to do it. That's how to build your character. You know, stack all your stuff in one thing for your basic vessels, spread it around as your vessels get more powerful. Pick your disciplines correctly for your class, you know, do some reading, check them out, and then look into the exploration disciplines for your other things. But I'll have something on certain exploration disciplines as they become available to the player base as the progression of the server goes on and people start actually getting items like those, like the craftable exploration disciplines. But for now, hopefully this video was useful to you guys and stuff. You know, I don't know. I did it again. I made another video. I don't know how useful it is, but if it is useful, then do things. There's buttons below the video that people sometimes push when they feel the need to. All right, I'll see you guys later.